Hello, Divination, and welcome. Okay, so we had a few problems in the beginning, but you know what? Hopefully this live stream is working. Welcome to the Divi Feature Update Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest Divi features. We go into detail, explore the endless possibilities that we can use them in our design workflows, and I also give you tips and techniques on how to use these tips on your own projects. Today, I'm talking about the Divi the dynamic Divi content. This is really awesome, well anticipated. We've been working very hard behind the scenes and now it's finally here. So I can't wait to show you how this works. This is really powerful. Now, before I continue, please do let me know if you can hear me loud and clear and if the stream is nice and crisp. So I'm just going to pause a little bit and see your comments here just to make sure that everything is fine before we go ahead. So it looks like yeah, I can see everyone saying it's much better. Torrent says 5 and 9. Not sure what 5 and 9 means. Crystal talk clear. All right, excellent. So it looks like everything is working fine. I'm really excited today because today we're talking about the dynamic content. Now, here's what it is. So when we design websites using WordPress, we pretty much can pull very little information from our database. And this is like the website title, page title, featured image. But with dynamic content, we can actually pull this information now much easier because this feature now, all we need to do is to go into any of our modules that support the dynamic content and then pull this information. So next time you build your page or you save that template, you don't have to add this information over and over again. So it's just pulled automatically from the database. I know it sounds a bit confusing as I'm trying to explain this, but I'm going to do a quick demo and show you how this actually works. But before I go in, I can see quite a lot of you joining us. This is really awesome. We have Andreas. Now, by the way, I won't be able to mention all these names because quite a lot of you. There's about 69 on the live stream, so this is really cool. We have Wayne, we have Agante, we also have Toran, Daryl Wilson, good to see you. We have JR, Lee Pacman, Roysa, I think. We also have Jamie, Gilbert, AB. Right, so we're also on Facebook, by the way. So let me just give a few shout outs to our members here on Facebook. We have Rob, Mark, Stefan, Sarath, Martin Jones. We also have Mark. Hey, there's a lot to say. We don't want to take a lot of the show by just going through the names, but you know what? I'm excited when quite a lot of you are tuning on onto our show. So this is really cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a quick demo and show you how dynamic content works. And so in the first part of this demo, I'm just going to do a basic sort of layout and just show you how you can set it up and where the dynamic content icon is. Okay, and then on the next part of this tutorial, I'll also show you how to create a template. Okay, and I'll also be using a plugin that allows us to add more dynamic fields onto our website. So it's a quick demo. So let's go ahead and let me show you how this actually works. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is to create a brand new page. So I'm going to come over here to Pages and click on Add New. We're going to give this page a name. I'm just going to call this D content for dynamic content. And then over here, ahead of time, I need to add my featured image because I'll be using this using our custom post types later on. So I'm going to click on Set Featured Image, and then I'm going to go with this image right here. Click on Set Featured Image, and then I'm going to go ahead and publish this page. So the next thing we're going to do now is to go into our builder. So I'm going to click Use Divi Builder, and then I'm going to click on Use Visual Builder. So initially with custom post types, we can pull information from the database, and the information we can do at the moment is the website title, the logo and description, post titles, excerpts, and featured images. However, we can also use external plugins like Pods, Toolset, or even ACF. Okay, so I'm going to click on Build from Scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to add a single column. And in that column, I'm going to add a background image. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my section settings, click on background. And then over here, if I click on the third tab where my image tab is, you notice that now we have a dynamic content icon, which is right here. So if I click this, I can now specify what my image needs to be. So it can be a site logo, it can be a featured image, and so on. So I'm going to go with featured image. And remember, we added our featured image right at the beginning of this tutorial. Right, so now I have my featured image. So the next thing I'm going to do is to just save and then add a title here. So I'm going to click this plus button and I'm going to add my text module, select it. So over here again, if I mouse over this area, you can see now that we also have this option here to add our dynamic content. So I'm going to click this plus button and you can see here, these are all the options that we have for our dynamic content, which is fantastic. So I'm going to click page title. So now this is going to give this page title every time this is used. This template is used. Okay, so now we have our title called D content, but you know what? I can actually go in and customize this, which is brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to the design tab, design. I'm going to change my font type to Poppins, and then I'm also going to change the color so we can see it and increase the size. That. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to come over here to advanced. No, in fact, I need to add some padding to that. So I'm going to come over here to spacing and I'm going to add some margin to the top and the bottom. So let's start off with, let's say 5%. Okay, I think we need to increase that. So let's go with 22%. Okay, so now that's our page title. I'm going to go ahead now and save. Next, I'm going to add a regular section. So for now, I'm just going to do a quick demo and show you how we can pull all this information from our database. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is let's go with title. With text. And then I'm going to click here on my dynamic content icon. So again, here we can go with our page excerpts, page publish date. So as you can see here, that is pulling this information from our database. And the cool thing here is we can actually add some text before and after this excerpt. Okay, so I'm going to go in and say, let's say page published. Okay, so now we have page published and then it shows the date. And as I did before, we can actually go in here and make some adjustments to this. So we can change the font, can make it all caps if you want to, change the size like that. So you can always go in and add all these custom post types. In fact, let me do one more. So here, let's use, let's say a blurb. Right, so as you can see here, right from the get-go, we have our title here. So if I click this plus button, I can make this title maybe the site title or even the site tagline. Okay, so now you can see my site title is there, Divi tutorials. And then over here, I can pull other data as well. Maybe this could be site tagline. And then over here on image and icon, let's just change this to an icon. And then over here, the site link URL, I can also link this to the homepage link or the page link. So we can play around with different options here. So when someone clicks on this, they will actually link to whatever we set it here. But now, I know this doesn't look like really, really exciting, but as you can see, this is how we're putting data from our database using dynamic content. Okay. So to see the power of this is when you save this page as a template and then create another page. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. So I'm going to come over here. In fact, I'm going to save the page first. And then I'm going to save this page. So I'm going to give this layout a name. Let's just call this layout D content layout. Okay, and then I'm going to add it to my templates and then save it to the library. Right, so let's say I need to create a brand new page and I want this dynamic content to be loaded onto that page. Here's what we can do. So I'm just going to save this and then I'm going to open this in a new tab. And let's create a brand new page. So let's call this page D content 2. Use Divi Builder. And then over here, I am going to add my featured image. And this time I'm going to add, okay, let's go with this one right here. Set featured image. And then I'm going to publish the page. Use Divi Builder. And then I'm going to build this from scratch. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come all the way down here to the bottom. And then I'm going to click this plus button. click on to my saved layouts, and we should see the content layout right here. So I'm going to select it. Okay, so now you see that this image has been dynamically updated by our rules that we set in our dynamic content over here when we created this page. Okay, so now you can use that template over and over again. As you've seen, we don't have to go in and add these images on the actual page. And over here, you can see the page title has been updated, which is fantastic. And then over here, our data as well, which we set this to, will be loaded automatically. Now, the power of this really comes when we use third-party plugins, and this is where now Divi allows us to pull the data from the plugins that we add to our website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my dashboard over here, and in fact, I'll just save and exit. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to plugins, installed plugins, and then I'm going to activate my advanced custom fields. Now, this is a plugin which allows you to add your own custom fields, and I think this is brilliant. So what I did ahead of time is I've already added some custom fields, and this is just for like, let's say I wanted to build a car website. So if I come over here and click on edit, we can see here that I've added all my custom post types. Okay, so here is the main image, engine size, web address, car description, car company, and price. So now let me show you what this looks like when I go into my pages. So if I come over here to pages, in fact, let me just update this for now. So now if I come over here to pages and click on add new. So let's say I need to create a brand new car, and this car is, let's say it's a Mercedes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Pexels and download the image. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one right here. Just download it. Okay, so that image now is downloaded onto my computer. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a brand new page. And now if you take a look at the bottom here, all those custom fields that I added using the plugin are now added here. So we can see here we have cars, car engine, web address, car description, car company, price, and so on. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my featured image, which is the Mercedes. So I'm going to click on upload files. Okay, set featured image. Great. And then over here, I'm going to come to my engine size. So I'm just going to save this as a V12. And then my web address, I'll just call this mercedes.com. Car description, I'm going to add some dummy text from Lorem 2. Okay, so car company, again here, this is Mercedes. And then over here, I can also add my price. So let's say 149,000. Okay, that's an expensive car. Excellent. So now that I have all my fields set up, this is great. I can now publish this. And notice this, I haven't actually gone into the Divi builder itself to make any changes. And this is because I've saved this page as a template as I did before. Right, so over here, I'm going to give this a name as well. Let's call this Mercedes CLK. Okay, great. So all I have to do now is to click on publish. So if I take a look at this page, we notice that nothing is on there. Okay, so all this information now will be pulled in once I load my template. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on use the Divi builder, use visual builder, build from scratch. So I don't need to do anything in here because I have a template. And then over here, I'm going to click this plus button, saved layouts. And then I'm going to choose my car page template. Wow. So as you can see, all my data has now been added, and I pre-customized this earlier on my template. So this is what this looks like. So every single car that you add, all you have to do is to go into your custom post types that you create, and then they'll be updated onto this page, and this is what it looks like. Now, what I've done ahead of time is I also created some other cars, so I just want to show you how cool this is. So if I come back over here to my dashboard and go to pages, so I've created other cars already. So I have the BMW here, so I'm going to click and open this in a new tab. So now, if I take a look at this, you notice that this takes the same layout. And this is the power of dynamic content in Divi. So you can see here, this is the Mercedes one. This is the BMW. And it has the same structure, but different information here. Okay, and this is all being pulled from the database using our dynamic content. So what I've covered here is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you can do quite a lot with this brand new feature. And the most exciting part is we can also use advanced custom fields, plugin. We can also use toolset and pods. So this automatically points to those fields that you've created with these plugins. So this is a really, really powerful feature, and I can't wait to see what you guys can come up with. So as you can see, this is like a template. So you can design different types of websites here. You can do real estate websites, affiliate marketing websites, car rental. In fact, you know what? This is just left your imagination. So this is really, really cool. I'm really excited about this feature. So so far, I'm just taking a look here. It looks like we have a question. Okay, we have a question here from Ratapula saying all of the latest developments that you've just shown. This is one that is taking me a lot of time to understand. Right, so I do understand that, and this demo did not sort of like go into detail and talk about these custom fields in detail. I was just mainly covering the feature itself. But basically, this feature here that we are talking about, the dynamic content, what it does is it allows us to pull data from the database. So think about it this way. So let's say you're building your website and you've created a page which showcases maybe, let's say a real estate layout, right? So if you were to create another page and create another property, right? Because let's say you're building different types of properties. So each and every time you have to go and create another property, it means you have to recreate that page and input all those information from scratch. So let's say the page title, maybe the description and the image of the property. So each and every time you have to create a page for whatever property, you would have to go in and add this information every single time. So what dynamic content does is if you set these parameters, right, it automatically takes, let's say, for example, the page title or the property title of that page you're working on. So every time you build new properties, you don't have to add this information every single time. So this is what dynamic content does. And even better, if you create a template, like as you can see here with this template that I've just done, in fact, what I can do here is let me go into my WordPress admin dashboard so I can show you. Okay, I'm going to save and exit. Okay, so I'm just going to open up these pages where I've created my different cars. So over here I have this BMW. I'm just going to view this in a new tab. We also have the Mercedes here. Okay, so as you can see here, if I wanted to add another car, let's say a Renault, right, on this page, all I have to do is to come over here to Pages, click on Add New. Right, I'm going to do this in a new tab. Now, if you notice here, with my custom fields plugin, I have the web address of the company, I have the car description, I have the car company, I have the price. So this is what I set up using my plugin. So when I take a look now, when I add this information, what happens then is, because I've set all these parameters, the page will just look like this, okay? Because that's how I set it up, okay? So as you can see here, this is a different car, but it's taking the same layout. So this saves a lot of time when it comes to the development, okay? So that's the power of this. Now, as you can see, this is a basic page, but of course you can even go really complicated and build amazing, layouts. Okay, so there's a lot of questions coming through here. Let me take a look. The question here from Roysa, can you put the templates drop-down option in the backend? No, you have to apply the templates to the page that you're actually working on. So this will be saved as your pages in the Divi library. So you can't add it as a drop-down. Okay. Gilbert here says, so one page without modification can virtually render dozens of posts. Yes, absolutely true. So you design your template once, and then when you add all your content in, you don't have to redesign those posts again. So you have a standard post. Monique says, so it's pulling everything from the custom field plugin in the new page that you create. Is that correct? Absolutely, 100% correct. So it's pulling all the data from the database with those specific parameters. Okay, Carol here says, I get the third-party plugins, and that's good for that. Oh, these comments are coming in fast. But for those who don't use third-party layouts, this is kind of useless. I don't know what you mean by that. You can actually add these custom fields to third-party layouts. It doesn't really matter. The layout is a standard look of the website, so you can actually go into those custom layouts or even the pre-made layouts that we give away for free. You just have to go into the particular modules and add your custom field. Okay, so this can work with any layout. Okay, because these dynamic fields, are pulling data from the database. So you just have to specify what data you want to pull from the database. So all these modules all support that. Okay, let's take a look here. Frederick says, are there any event plugins compatible with this? I haven't tried any event plugins, so I don't know the answer to that. Raisa says pods. Yes, pods should also work with this. So that should work fine. Right. There's also a comment here from Mans saying there's a problem with dynamic content and image fields in pods. I haven't looked at that. The one I've tried here is advanced custom fields, but I will be also taking a look at that. But this is something that you can get help from our team. So please do add a ticket to our support team and they'll be able to help you with that. Wayne says, can you create multiple templates? Absolutely, you can create multiple templates. So you could create a template for, let's say, if you're building a real estate website, you could create a template which specifically pulls data for a page that have descriptions. So maybe you may have, let's say, the large image, the description, the price, and then you can also have another template for those that are interested in the property. So you can also pull in different data to that. So yeah, it's endless. You can have as many templates as you want. As long as you specify what data you want to pull from the database, that should be fine. Your support have. Right, I think in the future we may be doing something with these plugins, pods, toolset, and advanced custom fields, and just show you how this works, because this is a bit advanced, so there is a bit of a learning curve. In fact, for me to put this basic layout, I had to go and look at a lot of documentation on advanced custom fields. But you know what, once you get it up and running and you get the grasp of how it works, This is fantastic. I'm so excited about this. And I mean, I'm sure for those of you who want to take your design skills to the next level, this is going to be the thing that is going to change. I mean, this is a game changer to Divi. So I'm really excited about this. Let's take a look. I'm just going to take a look here at Facebook as well and see if we have any comments. Marco says the template looks like one column. Is it possible to set them on one page like BMW and Mercedes next to each other? Yes, I mean the layouts. You can design your layout as you would if you're designing any Divi page as you're doing before. The only difference here is I'm actually assigning modules to pull data from the database using our dynamic content. So that's the only thing that's changing here. So you can design any type of layout as long as you specify where you want this data to be pulled from. That is fine from your modules. Okay. Christoph here says, how do I use it with affiliate websites? Okay. So let's say you create... So let's say you're promoting a product, right? So this could be maybe Divi itself. So let's say you're promoting Divi. You can create a specific page, right? Which pulls a video that talks about Divi. Below that, you can assign a button that when someone clicks it, it takes you straight to the Divi website so that they can buy using your affiliate link. And of course, you get this affiliate link from when you sign up with to be an affiliate with Divi. Okay, so you can have several products. So let's say you have Divi, maybe you have another one. I don't know if Advanced Custom Fields has one. You can also have a page. So these pages will pretty much look the same in terms of how they're designed, similar to what I did with my Mercedes-Benz, BMW pages. They all have the same structure. The difference now is when you input your button link, okay, every time you create a page, all this will have the same structure and the same content on it. Maybe the giveaways. Let's say if you say sign up with Divi, you're giving them a maybe a free training or a consultation, whatever it is. That structure will look the same. So that's how you would use that with affiliate marketing. Okay, let's take a look here. Francine says, is it possible to look in the database to display a list? Right, very good question. Now, I don't have an answer to that, but I did see something when I was looking at advanced custom fields where if you go for the paid option, there is some looping there that you can do. I'm not sure if this is what it is. I'm still trying to learn how to use advanced custom fields. So I think that take a look at that and then you should be able to see how that works. Okay, back over here. Roy says, unfortunately, it doesn't work with the custom post UI. Actually, I'm not sure about that. But custom post UI, I saw a tutorial where you can actually use custom post UI with advanced custom fields. So you may want to check out that and see how you can use it. Okay. Carol here says, okay, I have a question about global modules and sections. Can you create a template with global saved sections that you can change in the future? It will update all the pages using that layout. Yes, absolutely. So the global modules and sections, that's what you do. So if you create it once and apply to the whole website, and let's say after 2 weeks or after a year or whatever it is, you want to go back, maybe change the color. As soon as you change the color on that particular module that you've made global, that will change everything across your whole website. So that's how it works. Okay, so it looks like we've covered quite a lot here.
So what do you guys think about this update? I mean, is it something that you might be using in the future? Is it something that you feel is really exciting and this could take your design skills to the next level? Do let us know in the comments box. And also, if you have any more questions, please do add your questions in the comments box. If I can't answer them, I will have to escalate these questions to our support team. And Racer says amazing times 100,000. That's awesome. Torrent says, when will elegant themes show the love, some love to the theme customizer? It would be nice to have some of these new features there, especially the color pick. Yes, absolutely. So the theme customizer, that's in the pipeline. It's coming soon, and you can imagine that once you have the theme customizer and you can build all these templates and apply them with advanced custom fields, I think this is, the stage where you can build a really crazy looking websites, which take you very short space of time to put together. So we're waiting for that feature. I'm really excited to see that as well. So I can't give you an exact date, but it is coming very, very soon. Roy says, yes, definitely. Awesome. Racer says, I think we can build themes easily now. Absolutely. So I think for those theme developers, with these type of features, you can build really awesome looking themes which have dynamic content in them. Because currently, the themes that we have or the layers that we have are pretty much static. So they're not dynamic. So this is going to be a new level to the themes that we're going to be seeing in the future, and also the types of websites that we'll be seeing in the future. So this is really cool. Right. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick look here on Francine says, excited to test, wonder if I can fully replace toolset. I'm not sure what you mean by fully replace toolset. What advanced custom fields, what dynamic content does is it works in conjunction with these plugins. So let's say you want to add, just like what I did here on this template where I have the price and the engine size and so on. These are fields that you have to add in. By default, WordPress does not allow, only gives us basic information that we can pull from the database, like the site title, the page title, excerpts, featured images. So pretty much we can add our own fields into this and then call them with our dynamic content to pull that information in. So we're not really replacing toolset with dynamic content. We are pretty much adding extra functionality to work with these third-party plugins. I hope that is clear. Right. Yes, Ratapula says the plugin that you used before is free. Yes, it's 100% free. It's called Advanced Custom Fields, and it's really good. In fact, let me paste the link here so you can see it. Right. So here's the link to the plugin. It's called Advanced Custom Fields. Right. Okay, so any more questions? I think I'll hang around for a few more minutes if you have any questions regarding this, and I'll do my best to respond to them. Ultimate KV says bookmarked. Yes. Right. Andreas says in the bar counter, I cannot fill in the percentage field with dynamic content. Will it come in an update? I'm not really sure. This is something that I'll have to go in and check and see how I can use that bar counter. So keep an eye in the comments. I will respond to that because I haven't. I mean, this tutorial that I prepared was just. I didn't want to make it too complicated because, of course, this is a new concept to Divi, so I didn't want to make it too complicated. So I tried to make it, as simple as I can. So I will be going in and trying that out. So do take a look at the comments, and I will let you know. Right, Uncle Social here has a question. I'm not sure if I understand this. Do any of these custom fields plugins let you view all items in the database in a table layout or to edit? Right, I'm not 100% sure about that, but the last time I took a look at Toolset, they had like a UI where you can actually see all your fields that you create. So I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but Toolset is the only one that I saw that you could do that with. But yesterday when I was using advanced custom fields, you could not, see the stuff like in the database. Okay. Okay, is there a way to use along the shop module? I haven't tried the shop module, so again, this is something that I'll be taking a look at. So I will be, doing quite a lot here. So because this is a huge update, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions around this. So these things that you are bringing up, I am going to be trying them out and giving you responses in the comments box. Like for example, Toolset. I haven't really used this with our new dynamic content, so I'll have to go in and try that out. And also pods. At the moment, I only have advanced custom fields installed, so I would want to install these too. But from what Nick says in our video promotion, this dynamic content actually references these custom fields that would have created using these third-party plugins. So I'm assuming that all this is going to work okay. Right. Mark Jones says, when you add dynamic text, how can you style it with H1 and H2 tag? Yeah, I mean, that's very, very straightforward. If you take a look at my my website, the one with the BMW or the one with the Mercedes, all that text there, I was able to go in and change the color, the sizes. So all you need to do is to go into the design tab and then locate the title and then just do all the adjustments as normal. So it's not changing how Divi works. This dynamic content is only referencing data from the database, but you can customize it, add backgrounds, change colors, sizes, and all of that. So that can still be done. Okay, that hasn't been changed. So hopefully that answers your question. Right. Okay, so I think we've covered quite a lot here. I hope all you guys are as excited as I am with this new feature. So can't wait to see what sort of projects you guys will come up with. So for everyone that has tuned in today was really, really awesome. Quite a lot of you tuned in today. In fact, at one point we were close to 100 of you watching. So I really want to say thank you for everyone that tuned into the show. So next week, we're also taking a look at new features that will be coming. So do mark a date in your calendar for next Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. So once again, have a very good week. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate your time. Thanks for your questions. If you have more questions, do add them in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. All right, guys. So thank you very much and have a great week, and keep creating awesome websites. Take care.